Thokozani bogogo nomkhulu saluka sendoda lesugogo Bathini Mbatha umavula kuvala emzini yamadoda. Number 1 locksmith Auntie Usha. Guys, today we are talking about anxiety. It's not a calling. Yes, anxiety. It's not a calling. If you can look around these days, there's a lot of people abatwasayo. There's so much engagements regarding people wanting to know their history, where they come from, who they are, and what should be done moving forward. People are learning new ways in terms of communicating with their ancestors. We see a lot of transaction from being a typical Christian to go to understanding your culture. People will now say, as much as I'm a Christian, as much as I'm a devoted Christian for that matter, however, I feel ukuthi abagiti, they are the ones that really know me. There's a quote of one of the I don't want to put myself into trouble, of one of the, I'll call him a celebrity, I'll say one of the prominent celebrity and a businessman, who said his blood is of the ones of the ancestors, but I don't, of his ancestors, I don't know if I'm putting it in the right word, and not the one of Jesus. I don't know if I'm putting it right. That's why I'm saying let me not mention names. However, again, we are seeing that transaction of people getting to know themselves. You know, people coming to Emakosini to say, Gogo Bathini Mbatha, I'm not here to consult. I want to know, what must I do? I grew up in this family that we were taught, and only taught, about Christianity and nothing else. Our parents didn't compromise, and everything. We can hear there and there by the relatives ukuthi ugogo was a prophet, umkhulu was inyanga. So, but I'm here today, Gogo, just to get an advice, if I may call it that way, Gogo, in terms of telling or guiding me to say, if I strongly believe ukuthi mina nendlu yami, me and my family, which is myself, my wife, my children, we want to embrace, or we want to perform our rituals, or whatever, traditions or whatever. Gogo, what must I do? I normally talk in general, not as a Zulu speaking individual, because I get everybody from all walks of life. I even get white people coming to say, I was raised by this black woman. I remember her very well, because the last time I saw her is when I went to the varsity and my parents moved to abroad, or they've moved to another city and everything. That was the last time I saw her. But I keep on dreaming about her, and whenever I dream about her, I connect so much about where she comes from and everything. But I'll get into details in the same video. But let me finish the part lapho ngithi khona. I get people that comes and say, I want to do it, mina nendlu yami. I want to do it, Gogo. I want to do these rituals and everything. What must I do? There's two ways that I can answer you. Is either I'll refer you or answer you in general, to refer you to somebody of your tribe, if I may put that if I may use that word. Why somebody of my tribe, Gogo, is because of each and every tribe do things differently. I wouldn't want to say to you, go slaughter a goat and put ilokuzana, a goat skin, esandleni as ispandla, while in your family they didn't do that. The history of your family. Let's put aside the issue of Christianity. They just don't do that. Ukufaka ispandla. It does happen. Or your family was slaughtering sheep, not a goat. Or your family was not allowed to slaughter a sheep nor a goat, but only a chicken. Or in your family, they don't slaughter at all. There's no blood that is required on you. It's like kunabantu or abathi abagcabi bona. Abagcabi. You'll never see anything that you know abagcabi. That is that's how they are raised and been told at home. They can do everything with muti, but no razor at all. So we see a lot of those things, and it's, guys, trust me, I'm enjoying each and every consultation whereby I engage in such topics, you know, to say at home I know they used to do this and that, but suddenly they've stopped. Suddenly they've stopped. Right, now I'm getting to yet another video that I'll do it maybe next time, to say what could have made, let's use that word, what could have made some families to stop doing rituals. It's a topic on its own, because there's a lot of dynamics that comes with it. Then they were hiding behind the Bible all the time. Most of the time, people who are running away from certain things, they're hiding behind the Bible. They're hiding behind Christianity. There are very few who will say we no longer perform any rituals and we are not a churchgoers. We're just going to live our lives. Very few. No, it's very few. Those who just says we're just going to live our lives and that's it and everything. Most of us, we want to belong. And I feel we should belong somewhere. It doesn't matter where. It's not my call for you to say belong here or belong there, pasha or no. It's our choice. It's either we belong in terms of we believe in ancestors, we believe in a certain culture, we believe in a certain Christianity background, or yes, also, or if I feel I don't want to do anything, Minako, it's still okay. To me, that is to me, I feel one needs to belong. But sometimes you need to belong to yourself. What is your inner voice tells you? Because most of the time, if you don't belong anywhere, the world, the negative energies takes over your life. That's where the anxiety takes place. That's where the anxiety takes place. You must remember, the anxiety, when it takes place, it involves many things. Stress, depression, which is depression is also a stress, but it's at the high level. Depression is a high level of stress, if I'm not mistaken. So, which means you have allowed stress to overstay in your life. To overstay in your life, and now your stress wants to develop, because your stress now feels comfortable within you, because you always allow any negative things, negative vibes, negative spirits to come in, external forces to suppress you and everything. Then it develops to what? To depression. That's why you find people who are in a medication of depression and everything. Others, they even get your brain tumors or whatever that it may cause by the results of having a depression. And most of the people, the pain part, and which is the part of the video that I want to present to you today, it's when people find themselves, they think or they are being told they have a calling. Meaning, fane bahambe bayotwaza, swanetse bayile phetlong. Just like that. Swanetse bayile phetlong. That's why we see a lot of people, especially young people now, that actually it's both young and old, but mostly young people are being told they have a calling, so they must undergo in ilokuzana training to become isangoma or inyanga or a prophet, mtandas or whatever. And that is a problem, guys. We are faced with a huge problem, because you can imagine, I wouldn't call them fake sangomas. No, you can't call somebody a fake when the person didn't understand themselves, you know, being alone, feeling sad, feeling, you know, what, agitated and whatever, as the meaning of the anxiety will suggest. And then they went to seek for help. You know, bahambile bayofuna ukusiza ukuthi kwenzakalani empilweni yami, kungani kunjena and everything. Then they're being told ukuthi no, you have ancestors. The reason you are feeling alone is because of that. That's when your ancestors wants to talk to you, you know, alone. Your ancestors wants you alone. Kanti you feel alone, or you feel all the time that you want to be alone because of you feel that you've been betrayed by your colleagues. You feel that you've been betrayed by your family members. You feel that you've been betrayed by the committee members. You feel that you have been betrayed by the community, the friends. You know, so you feel as if everybody's against you. No, so now you feel you need to be alone. We all sometimes need to be alone. I do. We all do. Sometimes we need to be alone. You feel the need of being alone. I'm tired of addressing this issue. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. I just want to be alone. Then you are told, yes, that's when the ancestors are talking to you. It means you have a calling. You must go for training and become a sangoma. So if you went to become a sangoma with those reasons, with those explanations, as a result of the consultation that you've made, I wouldn't call you a fake sangoma. I wouldn't call you a scammer, for that matter, because you are being told. There's a difference between somebody that sits down and say, yeah, you know, today I'll tell people that I'm a healer. I can see things from today. Why? Because of you've watched a lot of videos and everything. You know that healers, this is how they talk, this what, or you like that particular healer, then you follow them. Then you lie to people on the side as if you are also a healer, only to find out you are not a healer. Then that you can classify that individual as a scammer or as a fake traditional healer. But here I'm not talking about fake traditional healers. I'm talking about people who went for training by default, by mistake, by being lied to, by not doing a thoroughly research on what is wrong with me, what have led me to feel this way, why am I feeling this way, what must I do to better this. Sometimes you are not achieving things that you thought you'll achieve at your age, and you see your peers, you know, you see guys that you went to school with, that you when you started working, you're working with, their life is progressing. Then you start to ask yourself questions, and then you develop anxiety, and then you have stress, and then you have depression, because you are now wanting to compete with those that you grew up with, those that you knew from the humble beginnings. You know, you knew them, and suddenly they are above you. And instead of you bettering your life, focusing in yourself, you know, and competing with yourself to say, okay, it's fine, we are not the same. Because sometimes we're competing with people we don't know their background. I normally say when somebody, I've closed a number of businesses. When somebody laughs at me or gossip about me and say, yeah, Mbatha has closed that business and that business, or whatever that is happening, I normally say to myself, it's okay. They don't know. They don't know. And I remember telling this other guy to say, I've started from the bottom. Those who knows me and the business part of me, in terms of how far I come when it comes to striving to become a successful entrepreneur. I haven't reached that. I know I'm going to reach that. I failed so many times, and I'm happy because I've learned so many times through those failures. So I started from nothing. No background in terms of uncle with a lot of money, with brother with connections, with a father with connections or whatever. I started from nothing when it comes to thing, and I understood when it comes to entrepreneurship, and I understood that now there was a phase in my life whereby I was competing with my calling, and I'll do something and then it will fail, and then I'll keep on blaming myself. Kanti, it's not just me, it's something that I have to accept in my life, in me, so that I go with it. Then there's a progress. Then the progress started when it comes to issues of the business. So I didn't go down and sit down and fold my arms and got frustrated and maybe being sent to somewhere to go and do a training to become a healer. No, I followed the guidelines of my ancestors. So that's why I always ask people to say, Gogo, they say I have a calling. I'll ask you to say, well, now what are you saying? Guys, there's no way Gogo Bathini Mbatha can say to you, you have a calling. But when you don't have any signs that you can pick up, and even if I can give a 10 or 20 boxes to tick with some explanations or some behaviors or some dreams, some visions and everything, there's not even a single box that you can tick that will suggest that you are on the path of you should become a traditional healer. It's just an anxiety that you need to deal with. And unfortunately, people don't want to hear that. Most of the people don't want to hear that. Somebody will say to you, Gogo, I've tried everything. I've tried everything. I really now feel, yes, I have a calling. I need to go to a certain church to get a training to become a prophet, or I want to go to whatever place. That's another thing. We tend to think, if you have a calling, you have a choice to say, I'm going to Gogo Bathini Mbatha for him to be able to train me to become a Sangoma and everything. No, you need to be guided by your ancestors to say where you are going. In me, personally, even if I can pick up you need to become a traditional healer, I've never reached a point whereby I say to a person, you need to become, you have a calling that you need to respond to, and you need to do it here. It does happen to other people. I don't dispute that. It does happen. But to me, it has never happened. And I don't see it going to happen. It will always be the matter of people being sent by ancestors. So we are seeing a lot of people ngamabhaya bomvu, ngelokhuzana ngeyiphiga, colorful dukes, beads, or inweba, some wools and everything. Lot of stuff, lot of skins of animals. It might be inyongo yenkomo, isiphandla sembuzi and everything. Most of those people, we are in trouble. Maybe we should have seek help from someone who will be doing counseling. Yes, we do have good people who are doing counseling. We have very terrible people who just listen and say it will be fine, and then that's it. And why do you have paid to do consultation with them? So I'm begging you guys. I'm not saying you don't have a calling. Maybe you're watching and say, Gogo, now you're confusing me. No, I'm not confusing you. All I'm asking you to do is just find out. Just find out. Just do a research. Don't just get taken. Because I can see people think, these days, if you are a healer, it's an in thing. No, it's an in thing that, yeah, it means you are happening, you know. One man is a healer now, yeah, and everything, you know. We have a platform now, a social media, you know, whereby we brag, you know, and we hit on each other, you know. We hit on each other, we suppress each other and everything, because everybody wants to appear as the healer, as the relevant healer all the times and everything. It's okay, that can happen and everything, but let's not harm each other on our way to do that. And don't take a calling as a career. It's not a career, it's a calling. It's something that you are born with. It's not something that you pick up along the road. You can pick up along the road to say, what is it that you need to do? But it should be something that now you can also reflect back, or someone in your family can also reflect back to say, yeah, no, from the very young age, we could see this one, that no, something is coming. And you can also see the setup when you go to a person that is doing this temporarily, or he's just started this because of the friend. I know people that went through a training because a friend is a sangoma. Now what they pretended at their families to that they have a calling. There are people who can act. I'm talking to families and parents. There are people who can act because they have so much time going around attending the events of the sangomas and everything. They can see and they can act it to the best of their ability, to such a way which you will believe that this person has a calling. There's a lady that was brought at home the other year and everything. She performed everything you can think of and everything. I still told them to say, this is not a calling. I'm not going to accept her. This is not a calling. She doesn't have a calling, for that matter. Not that this one is not, but she doesn't have a calling, for that matter. I'm glad that she was able to come back to me and say, thank you for rescuing me, because being papa, because I was jealous. It was jealousy. I saw my friend doing it, and then my friend moved to somewhere else, and we also moved to another place. So we both staying in two different provinces, no longer where we both grew up. And then I thought I wanted to be relevant where I am, and I did all the acting and everything. I just came here to say, one, I apologize, Gogo, for lying about that ancestors have shown me you. Two, to say thank you for rescuing me, because if you've allowed me, I would have became a sangoma, a fake sangoma for that matter, because definitely sure Nami I knew Uguti, I don't have this thing. So it is very important for us to be honest with ourselves, and to be honest and to be able to create a communications with each other at home as friends and everything, so that you are able to tell your friend to say, I don't think no. Don't you think you are being frustrated by that your girlfriend? You know, sometimes you act as if you have a calling because of your partner is now a healer. So you are jealous of your partner, not just your friend, your partner. You are jealous of your partner. You are jealous of your sibling, because of your brother or your sister has become a sangoma. Now we're suddenly, so close. Now at home, there's two Godlo and everything. No, people now gets confused to say, which is which here? Yes, it does happen that siblings, they both, or all of them, they become sangomas. It's possible. I've seen it. That one, I can tell you, it's possible. It does happen. And it does happen that there's fake ones. It's not there. Lalela, it's not there. No, it's not there. You are faking it. You should have dealt with the issue of anxiety. You should have dealt with the issue of stress. You should have dealt with the issue of depression. You know, finally, baby, we know in terms of saying, why am I suddenly feeling this way? Why am I feeling so down? Why I want to isolate myself from people? Why do I feel like being in my corner all the time? Why is that? What is happening? You know, instead of asking yourself those questions, no, now what you do, you listen to what you want to hear, not what needs to happen to you. It's expensive. You are putting yourself into trouble. You are putting your life into stop. Instead of you maybe going back to school, instead of you maybe fixing your marriage, fixing issues of your your social life and everything. No, I have a calling. I have a calling. Sometimes you are alone because you are an evil person, individual. All you think of is a negative thing. How can I bring that one down? That's all you are thinking of in that corner of yours. That you pretend now it's a calling. Sometimes you just love witchcraft. So you claim that you have a calling. No, because of you want to, when you perform your witchcraft and everything, when you have indumba yako lapana, people will say no, we are la pakantu when you know what you are using it for witchcraft. Sometimes it's a love of herbs. And if you have a love of herbs, it doesn't mean what you need to go under training and everything. You can go and do a research and everything. What this one does, what this one does, what this one does and everything. Then find people that you'll test these things on to say, okay, you have a problem of this. I've done research. This is what could help you and everything. And I've seen people who are doing that. And sometimes it does work. Sometimes it doesn't work because, especially if you're doing it because of somebody else is doing it. Especially somebody that you know. So I'm asking you, I'm humbly asking you to say, go check for stress, go check for depression. Just before you respond to that calling that they say you have or that you think you have. And sometimes you can have dreams. Remember, there's a difference between a dream and a vision. Iphupho nesibonakaliso. Sometimes it's something that you keep on thinking about, then you end up dreaming about, then you say ancestors were talking to you. Can't you know? It's something that you occupied it in here. Your mind is occupied with Muti, with you becoming a Sangoma, with you becoming, this famous Sangoma, this very successful Sangoma, with all the nice things, the beautiful cars, she dresses beautifully and everything, very expensive accessories or whatever. Sometimes you feed yourself, because it's all about feeding yourself. I always tell people that success is a decision. If you want to be successful in life, it's a decision that you take. Then you follow what needs to be done in the path of what you want to do. So if you feel, I'm worth it, I'm worth it. No matter who can bring me down, I'm worth it. I love myself. I come first. Not selfishly so to suppress other people. No, positively so. You can see your life becomes different and everything. But if you say, no, I'm not okay. I think I've got ancestors. Ancestors are talking to me. Sometimes they want to see me alone. My husband doesn't understand. Understand. Because you've seen somebody doing it. To you, it's an act. It's an act. So you are taking that, you're putting into your brain, and your brain grasps that, and your brain, you end up behaving the way you think you should have been behaving based on what you have seen. You must remember, guys, we're living in another world. Everything, most of the things that we do, they are being induced to us. We're in a world of technology. What we watch on TV is what the world wants us to watch. What we read on internet, what we see on internet, it has been suggested on our behalf. This is what is going to happen. The same as fake calling. I'll call it a fake calling, not a fake Sangoma. Because a fake calling is, that's a one. Sometimes you've invited that. And if you invited it, beyond being influenced and being told or being lied to or being misled, then it's fine. It's up to you, when or what you want to hear. But you may be suffering from anxiety. You may be. Sometimes maybe you don't have that calling. Let's be careful. Let's be careful. I hope I've unpacked this in such a manner that it won't make other people to feel as if I'm criticizing them. You know about this channel over the years. I don't play that game of critics, of insulting people, of bringing other people down and everything. I'm not saying people that have been going to trainings now and everything. Yes, we do have a very pregnant number of people who are responding to their calling. Others much bit later and everything. Others, they're still within time and everything. That's why in schools we need these subjects. In schools we need government to encourage the school governing body individuals, members, so that we don't just have Ubabu Smelane, who is the priest. Should a child being suspected to have satanism, they will call Ubabu Smelane to pray for that child. What about the child that has really a calling? Who is there for that child? The other teacher, whom is my client, said, Gogo, we are in trouble as teachers. We are midwives. We are preachers. We are now okobela. We need to burn impepo. We need to bring isnef in case of emergency. Gogo, and everything. We talk this. Sometimes we as parents, we become irresponsible. You take your child. You don't go to school and explain to the principal, to the class teacher, to say, my child has a calling. Sometimes this is what happens. Could you please assist me with this? So I think our governing body should be resourceful to our schools, not just being there to take decision on who gets hired and money must do that and that. There's a lot that we can be doing in terms of dealing with security at schools, to avoid kids fighting with teachers, dealing with issues of kids that needs to be prayed for, kids that are pregnant because they are also allowed to continue with their studies, kids that has a calling, kids that really have a calling. You know, there's nothing that could be done. This child loves school. It's not a matter that ancestors don't want this child to go to school. No, the child wants, the ancestors wants the child to still continue with school, because if they didn't want to, they would make the child to be sick and to stay at home. But however, they are allowing the child to go to school. So we need an assistant at school. But let's allow teachers to teach, because that's why they are at. That's it. That's why they are there. They went to tertiary varsities or whatever colleges to learn or to polish up their calling of become teachers, and to qualify for them to teach our kids academic, not to teach our kids, okay, because now you are informants, or now you need to start a clinic, now you need to do this, no, you need to stop drugs and everything. That should be the job of the governing body. Meaning, when we choose governing body, we mustn't choose Usbani Bani because of his influential, or because of she has money or he has money, or because of, not just because of he's got a child here at school and everything. No, we need to think beyond that, so that we eliminate these kids going for training and everything. Parents will be able to see which is school governing body in the level of schools to say, no sector. And they'll be able to engage with the parents better compared to the teacher who really doesn't know anything. And the teacher's not there to do that anyway. Again, let's be careful. That child might have a depression because shy in mathematics. I'm shy in mathematics like Gogo Bathini Mbatha school. You know, that child might be depressed because of she has started dating and things are not going well with the dating at school. The girlfriend is not coming to party, the boyfriend is not coming to party. There are many things that can make a person to be depressed. A person, you think, no, this one has a calling and everything, only to find out it's just something that we should have dealt with aside. It's not a calling. Let's be careful. Gogo Bathini Mbatha. Don't forget 2024 financial breakthrough from the 23rd of May until the 29th of May, which is the elections day. Elections, we're aligned because of elections. They play a big role when it comes to our economy and our finances, personal finances, because personal finances to me and the economy of the country, to me it's one thing. To me it's one thing, but it's a topic for another day. In terms of spiritually, how can we align ourselves at all times? How do we make sure we don't just flow on our own? We are flowing into a direction of where we are, which is, if you are in South Africa, you need to deal with issues of South Africa. Till next time.